The next type of factoring is called advanced factoring. The reason this problem is advanced factoring is the number in front of m squared is 3, and 3 does not go into 3, 19, and 6. So this problem is unable to be made into a basic factoring problem. So we have to do just a little bit more work, but this will begin to branch into another topic called factoring by grouping, so you'll actually be learning two things at once. So the first thing you do, since we're not only looking for factors of 6, we want things that actually multiply to 3 times 6. So we're going to take the first times the last whenever it's an advanced factoring, and we're going to put them on the top of something I like to call the big X. So we're going to take 3 times 6 and put it on the top. And then we'll still be looking for factors of this number, 18. Instead of just 6, we're looking for factors of 18 that are going to add to the middle. So just like basic factoring, we're looking for factors that add to the middle. So in this case, we're filling in this organizational X over here to help us. So we're now looking for factors of 18 that'll get us 19. Now you can make a list again if that helps for factors of 18. So we have 18 and 1, 3 and 6, 2 and 9. And I think I got them all, but like I said, as soon as I find it, I stop and I won't go forward. So technically I didn't need to go on to those because I knew that 18 and 1 added to 19. So as long as the factors add or subtract to 19, we want to try them and then decide what their signs will be. Sometimes you will get multiple options. Maybe one will add and maybe one will subtract. But after you figure out your signs, you could eliminate one of those choices. So I'm going to put the 18 and the 1 down. And since I want them to add to a positive 19 and multiply to a positive 18, they both have to be positive. Now what I do is I cross out all the middles. So I cross out that and I cross out the middle here. And now we're going to rewrite the middle and we're going to make this into a 4-term problem. So instead of having 19m, we have 18m plus 1m, and then we keep the 6 and we keep that 3m squared from the beginning. Now this is the part that I like to call factor by grouping. So you go ahead and you split this, since you have 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and you find the greatest common factor like we did in the first lesson. So here it's 3m, and here it's 3m, and over here it's a positive 1, because there's nothing else that comes out of the 2. And you always have to take a greatest common factor out of the second set, even if it's 1. So we take that greatest common factor out on both, and we put the answers in parentheses, just like what we did on the first lesson. So when we divide, we're left with m, and we're left with 6, and it should match. So they should both be the same, and if they're not, you want to check your sign, because sometimes this guy right here is negative, then you'll want to divide by a negative if he's negative. So we take our two things that are on the outside, and instead of distributing them through and getting back to where we were at before, we actually take them in their own bracket to rewrite it as double distribution to the m plus 6. So we now have 3m plus 1 times m plus 6, and this is factored. This can be checked using FOIL, so you know that 3m times m is 3m squared. 3m times 6 is 18m, and 18m plus the 1m we'll get here gets you the 19m, and 1 times 6 gets you the 6 at the end. This is your first example of advanced factoring.